Hello, everybody. Let me get... Nope. I hope I'm live in the right place. There it goes. Okay, hello, Rosemary. Hello, we are going to talk about beautiful new ink colors today. I wanted to jump on here and connect with you guys. It's been a little while since I did a live here on Facebook. I did one last week on YouTube. But it's been a little while since we did one over here, so I thought I would do that and share the new ink colors. These are the colors that are coming out in the new annual catalog, which will be out shortly, I think next week. And all the product that I'm using is brand new product. I'm going to show you. I've been using these dies, so I just want to put these back really quick while we wait for anybody else to pop on. So these are the new stylish shaped dies, circles, squares, and then these flagged pieces, and they are dotted. They're not really stitched, but they're really beautiful, and you're going to see them today. The other thing that I'm using is we're using all the new ink color stuff. So here are the new ink color, the paper. And I really love these colors. They're really pretty in person. So I wasn't positive when I saw them online, and I knew like I was obviously going to order them. But I wasn't positive that I loved them. And in person, I really do love them. And the thing to remember is when the new ink colors come out, I think sometimes we get caught up in if they look good together because they're coming out together. They're like launched together. And sometimes they do. There are sometimes that all 5 colors go beautifully together and they're really fun to use together. And then there's other times that they don't. Uh-oh. Okay, so, well, I have sound on my end, Missy, so I know you can't hear me. I have sound on my end, period. So on my iPad, I am voice texting this message, and I have sound on my iPad, period. Maybe try refreshing, Missy. Okay, sorry about that. So sometimes we forget that they don't always have to go together, right? Now, some of these go really good together. I think these 2 colors are really beautiful together. I think, let me see. I think these 2 are really pretty together. Or these 2. I don't think that they all go great together. Like, I don't think that they all play well, really great together. But I think some of them go together. But I do love all of them individually. So this is the designer paper. This is new designs for this year, our basic paper. So this is new designs, the flowers, the polka dots, the stripes, and then the plaid. So that is this, and we'll be using this. So we're using all of the items I'm going to show you. So we are going to use the designer paper, right? And then we're going to use all of the inks. So here's the inks. And again, love the colors. This is the one I'm going to need because we're going to do a card on camera here, but I've used these. Love them. The next thing that we have is the twine. Now I am missing a set of twine. I have this one. Which one am I missing? Looks like I'm missing one of the other blue ones. It probably rolled off onto the floor because I have a clear block on the floor and I have a ruler on the floor. So I bet it just rolled off. But I'm using the Baker's Twine. So this comes in a pack of 5 and it's each of the colors. Okay. And then the next thing that I'm using is these embellishments here. Hi, Susan. Hi, Virginia. I'm using these and we'll be using these here. Okay. And then the other thing that I'm using that is really pretty is the Ombre Glimmer paper. So this is how it looks, and it goes from, you know, light to dark or dark to light, whichever, you know, way you want to think of it. And these are in the new in colors. So we're using that. And I think I've already cut my pieces. And then the only other thing that we're using is obviously the cardstock. So I have a bunch of stuff here because I've already done 4 of the cards, and I'm going to show those to you at the very end of the video. But I've used the cardstock, the designer paper. I have a little bit of basic white there because I used it for some of the stamping. And then the 2 stamp sets that I have used today is the limited edition is the one that I'm featuring the most, but I did use a little sentiment out of this one. So these are the 2 that I'm using, and then the dies. So all of this is brand new in the catalog that will be launching May 3rd. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started making this one card. Now I've already done all of the prep work because I really want to be able to show you a couple things I want to show you. The first thing I want to show you is each of the cards that I'm going to show you are inspired by recent cards that I've made. So I am super tired today, and I knew I wanted to make these cards, but I also knew that I didn't have a lot of creative energy, you know, like a lot of creative thought. And I've been struggling a little bit with like my creative mojo. Like there's lots of ideas rattling around in my head, but like executing them has been a little bit difficult. So what I like to do when I run into this problem, there's a couple things that I do. I'm not a Pinterest person, so I don't love going on Pinterest. It overwhelms me quite a bit. So I don't love Pinterest. What I will do is find card designs that I like, and then I will, okay, like for example, I'm getting ready to start a traveler's notebook, which is, for memory keeping stuff. And so I have found some ideas that I like, and I just print them out. So instead, because what happens to me is I get on Pinterest and I go down the rabbit hole and everything is overwhelming and it's like everything's chaotic. So I just find the ideas that I want and I will print them on paper. Hi, Izzy. So I'll do that. That sometimes helps if I, you know, I have a cluster of ideas. Or I will look back over some recent cards that I've created and I will just look at them and then I will use them as a jumping off point. And that's what I'm going to show you. For each of the cards that I've made this morning, it coordinates with a card I've recently made. And I want to show you how I either cased the exact design or I tweaked it a little bit, right? So the first card that we're going to do is with this color here. This is this new blue. And what I have is a couple pieces here. So the first piece is then this design, and it's just perfectly going to go on the front of my card. And I could use the polka dots if I wanted, but I like the white space in the plaid design. So I'm going to use some foam. And I'm going to trim this down. And I just do a rough trim. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want the majority of this to be... I'm going to move you guys a little closer to me. I'm really leaning in and it's hurting me. It's hurting my rib cage because I'm leaning so far into the table to make sure I'm in frame. Hey, Kathy. And I saw Daisy pop on here. Okay, so we're just gonna put that in the middle. We can put that right down. This is gonna be simple. We're not like, this is not gonna be anything crazy. Then I have this design here. Okay, so it's the other piece. So on the back of this one is polka dots. And then this is the floral, which I love. And then I don't love the stripes as much, but that's okay. And okay, so let me give you measurements in case you want to case this card. And I will have a project sheet of these cards up for you guys tomorrow. It won't come today. I don't have time to do it today. I have to pick up Kayla from school. Today, Macy's sick, so Wendy usually does pickup, and because Macy's sick and at home, I have to do pickup. So I'll have it up for you guys tomorrow with the blog post. So the card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And at the last minute, I decided to do it this direction instead of this direction. Originally, I was going to do it this direction. And I'll explain why I changed my mind when we get there in a minute. So it's just folded that way. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So a standard A2 size card. And then I took a 1/4 inch off my designer paper so I would have a border. So the first layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then this piece is 5 inches this way and 3 inches this way. And that's just going to be layered right down, right? Quite a few layers for me. Then I did this. So this is at 1/4 or 1/2. I think it's 1/4. And it's going to go like this so that a little bit of the designer paper is peeking out, okay? And so this is just 1/4 of an inch. I gotta use my grid mat. I do love this new color too. This is, it reminds me of, I'm overthinking this. I gotta get it closer to me so I can make it straight. It reminds me of Tempting Turquoise, which was a color when I first started with Stampin' Up. Tempting Turquoise. So that has that ombre effect, which is really pretty. I love this glitter paper because it's not the kind of glitter that like flakes off. It's like smooth. Okay, so then it would open like this, right? Okay, so then what I've done is I've cut one of those circles. So you can see it's not stitched, it's like dotted. I mean, it still like has the stitched feel, right? I love it. Okay, so now we're going to do our stamping. So I need my stamp set. And this is one that I really, really love. And what I've done is I've cut off Stampin' Up, the Stampin' Up piece, the logo from all of these, because I have the little Stampin' Up logo right there that I can add to it. So from this one I cut it off, this one I cut it off, and this one I cut it off. And I think, yeah, from all of them, I've cut the little Stampin' Up piece off. So this one is called Limited Edition. And this one is specifically for our angel policy. So if you are making cards with Stampin' Up images, what they like you to do, what they ask you to do, what they, I guess in a way, require you to do, is to stamp the copyright like symbol here, copyright Stampin' Up, on the back of your card. So this stamp set is made for that. But when I saw it, I really loved it. I got this for free for, it was an event that I signed up for to do. And my stamp set that came in that event was this one, and I was over the moon. And so when I saw it, I loved all the images, and I thought it would be fun to use without that Stampin' Up piece. So that's what I did. And you're going to see all of these featured. So I have this circle here. And the ones I've already used is I've used limited edition. I've used the little hand, I've used paper hug, and I've used this. So I totally could reuse one of those. But I'm thinking this one, you could write inside the card like you're a one-of-a-kind creation. Like, I think that would be cute. So what we're going to do is stamp this on that circle. So I need a block. And again, I just like keep leaning farther and farther in, and it's hurting my rib cage. Okay, so let's open up this color here. And I'm going to hope I stamp this straight. That ink pad is really juicy, so I'm going to try to be careful to not smear anything. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. So we'll set this aside. So now I want to be able to use my twine on here. And what I want to do is, I'm thinking, originally I was going to put this like so, but I'm wondering, I mean, would it look cute in the middle? It almost looks cute in the middle. And I feel like, I mean, we might need to do some more die cutting, because when I'm looking at this, what I'm feeling like, where did my dies go? Right here. I'm feeling like this might need one more layer. And so I could show you die cutting this. All right. Let's grab the colored cardstock. And I'm just gonna cut a piece off here. And we'll use, hi Linda. So then we're gonna stick this in here, and this is why I love my mini, because I can just have it on my desk and it makes this kind of die cutting a little easier. So the other thing is that tomorrow or Thursday, all of my paper party retreat information will be coming out. So I finalized all my numbers and everything this week. And so all of that will be coming out. So if you have emailed me or texted me about that, and I said, like, it's coming, I promise, it will be out this week, and I will get an email out to you guys with all of the information. I also tend to have to wait a little bit until closer to the catalog launching, so that I can get images and use images and stuff within my information that I send out. And I also wanted to see if there was going to be anything delayed, any product delayed. Stampin' Up! Has been really great about helping demonstrators by letting us know, like giving us a heads up. And so I really was like trying to wait. I know that a lot of other demonstrators already have their information out for that. But what I didn't want to happen is I didn't want to plan everything, crunch all the numbers, and then something not be able to get here because the shipping crisis that we're all going through is getting worse. And so I wanted to try to wait a little bit closer to the launch so I could make sure I knew exactly what I could get. And I think everything's pretty good to go. So I will have that information out this week. By the end of the week, you will see that. So I just doubled up my twine, and then I tied a bow. And I'm going to use a glue dot. And we're going to put that right on the circle. This would be a cute, like, baby card, too. Like, for a new baby. Okay, so I think I'm going to put it in the middle, is what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's do this flat. There's already quite a bit of dimension going on. So we'll do it flat. And then we're going to do that like basically right in the middle. I probably needed to center my white circle a little bit better. Okay, so now let's grab our, these are the matted decorative dots, 2022, 2024 in color decorative matted dots. And these are the ones I haven't used yet. And pretty much and these are like an ombre effect as well. And pretty much for all of the cards, I've done these embellishments the exact same way. You're going to see that in just a minute. I've done 5 on each, kind of in that same design. Hi, Iona. Okay, so this card here would be a super cute baby card, which that wasn't even what I was going for, but it would totally work. So this card here is inspired by this card here. So that's why originally it was going to be this way. And then, this would be a really cute card design too. How this is with the small strip, and then if this was just turned, that would be a really cool card design too. So this is a card that I made for a tutorial design group I'm a part of. And so there's not a video out on it, but there is, when you order from me, you do get both of my tutorial bundles. And this is part of the May tutorial bundle. And it's using the tulip paper. So I loved this. So I was going to case this card. I was going to make it exactly. But then I thought, what if I just flip it? Like, right? So that's how you can use your cards as an inspiration, as a jumping off point. So even though I didn't case it exactly, I got the basic design from it. So there's this one, and this is with the this color here. Okay, the next color and the next card is this one here. And this color is Orchard Oasis. And I have, again, you see those embellishments. I did them exactly the same. And there is a little bit of an element that is the same here, where it's, and in fact, like the same designs I used. Like I could have used polka dots here, but it's like the same concept, right? But instead of more of this design, I just did it in a strip. And there's one other one that is, I think, sort of like this one. But this card here is inspired by, oh, let me grab my cards. That card, I got to make sure that I get the right one, is inspired by this one. See, same, oops, it would help if I was on camera. Okay, so same card design, but different colors. Instead of the cloud, I did the squares. I really wanted to use those dies. And then I added the twine to this one, but same card design, right? Okay, so that is with Orchard Oasis. Okay, next on the list is this one, which is done in Sweet Sorbet. I'll show you guys all of these at the same time. Like, I'll show them all together in just a second. Okay, so that is Sweet Sorbet. And this one is inspired by this one, which seems weird. I know. Because it's really not, no. It's not this one. It is this one. So I flipped the design, I flipped it, and then I did the square, and then I did, instead of the die cut, I did a stamping. And this card is part of the set of end cards I did with the old end colors that are retiring. And I have now reached out to 2 people for the winner of these cards, and they have not got back to me. So I'm going to try a third time to pick a third winner and reach out to them, and hopefully they will get back to me and I can send you the set of cards. But that is what this one is inspired by. With Sweet Sorbet. And hold on, I have a parrot texting me. So I got to do this hands-free. Yep, we can take her tomorrow and bring her home. Period. If you can have her here a little bit before 8, that would be perfect. And then she's welcome to hang out a little bit after the girls get back from testing, period. Sorry, Kayla has testing, state testing all this week, and, you know, coordinating with other parents. Okay, so that's what that one was inspired by, right? No. Which one? Oh, the other flower one. Okay, so that's Sweet Sorbet. Okay, the next one, this is the one that was inspired by this one. I love this color. So Misty Moonlight is a color that left us, that went away. And if I had to trade Misty Moonlight for any color, it would definitely be this one. Oh my God. Why does this guy not know when testing is? I believe they were home by noon on Monday. Testing gets done about 11:20, I believe. Okay. It's funny. This dad that's texting me, they recently went through a divorce. So, you know, it's like a weird thing. Like, they went through a divorce, so it's like we communicate with the mom and we communicate with the dad, but it's like it's not a very kind divorce, so it always feels very weird. These are the things that happen. Okay, so this one was inspired by this one. I also embossed on this. I did heat embossing, and I have a cool trick that I'm going to share with you guys, which makes all the difference when you're heat embossing. I had never done this before, so let's just do it right now so you guys can see the difference. And we're going to use this paper hug, and I'm going to do this 2 different ways, and I'm going to show you what a difference it makes because I think it's so cool. So I'm going to plug my heat tool in. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Yep, I am super happy to drive her over to your house and drop her off. If you just text me your address, I can have her back to your house by 3:30. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. So we're going to need Versamark, a block, and then we're going to need white ink. Okay, so here's full disclosure, everybody. Let this be my public statement about this. The white ink pad that I use is a Simon Says Stamps ink pad. It is the white pigment ink that I prefer. I've never liked Stampin' Ups, so I don't use Stampin' Ups. And I am not going to hide that from you guys. This is what I use. This is what I like. And that is my statement. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And the other thing is, with retiring product, I have decided that I am going to use retired product whenever I want. Mostly dies, because I keep all of my dies, and I feel like I'm really not loving the shame, I feel like, that is put out there with retiring product. And I feel like there's this like culture of like, we're all supposed to just get rid of all of our retiring stuff because, you know, if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you show something that's retired, you know, people are going to be real mad because they can't get it. And I just don't buy into that. And I believe that, you know, a lot of you that have ordered from me or ordered from other demonstrators, you have this stuff that you've bought and you're not getting rid of it because you're not a demonstrator doing this. And so a lot of you have all of this stuff. And so I am just like, I guess, like, let this be my statement. I am not going to be shamed into getting rid of all of the stuff that retires just because it retires and I'm a demonstrator and that's what I should do. I will probably get rid of stamp sets because I don't always love every stamp set that I get, but my dies I really love. I want to continue to use them. I want to continue to use ribbon that's retired if we have the color. And I will always let you know if it's retired. But I kind of feel over this. I'm not allowed to use something because it's retired and I should just get rid of it. I think that's ridiculous. And I think this idea that customers are going to be really angry or you can't help your customers if you have something and they can't get it. I'm kind of over it. And it's part of something that I've struggled with the last 6 months or so, and feeling this idea that I have to do things this certain way because that's how all the other demonstrators do it. It's also kind of like my paper party. Pip and I have pushed that back a little bit because we wanted to make sure we could get everything that we were saying, and we like this push to get everything out sooner and sooner. Like, you have to, you know, get all the information out there like the minute it happened. Like, I just am kind of overplaying that kind of I feel like it's like the demonstrator game, and I want to create for you guys. I want to share with you guys, and I'm really just tired of, I don't know, like those kinds of made up rules. Same thing with using other products like this. Okay, I am not going to pretend to like Stampin' Up's white ink. I don't like it. It's not good. So I'm also not going to hide it from you that I use this. Same thing with my embossing powder. I don't use Stampin' Up! Embossing powder because I don't like it. It's not a good product. And there's no reason for me to lie to you or pretend And so that's the place that I'm at. So that's just for me. I just want to make that clear. It's a decision that I'm making to like not be shamed into these different aspects. I want to connect with you guys. I want to share with you guys. I want to create with you. That is my entire, that is the only desire I have ever had. I stand by Stampin' Up! Product that is good. I will stand by their cardstock. I will stand by the company. I love them as a company. I love their inks. There's a million things about Stampin' Up! That I love. If I wasn't selling it, I would still use it. But also I just want you guys to see, as I go forward, you're going to see pattern paper that's not Stampin' Up. You're going to see embossing powder that's not Stampin' Up. You're going to see retired product. And I hope that that will spark my joy of crafting again, because it's been really hard to be in this little box that I have all these rules. I can't use retired product because it will make customers mad. I can't use other pattern paper because then customers might buy that from another company and they're not buying from you. And there's just all these rules and regulations that Stampin' Up! Demonstrators in general put on other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And I just feel kind of over it. So I hope that that makes sense. I didn't mean to go down a whole rabbit hole or a whole rant, but I just want to be able to be creative and share with you guys. I want to be able to create and share crafting projects. I want you to see, like, I did all this stuff over the last 2 weeks for my house, for my living room. I made a bunch of stuff. I made a bunch of pinwheels and I made a wreath, and I wanted to show it, but then I didn't, because I was like, well, other demonstrators are going to comment to me or say to me, or somebody's going to get mad that that's retired, or that, and I just like want to be over, I want to be over that, right? Like, let's just create and have fun and make things and be happy, because there's too much going on in this world to hold back and not be creative and not create and not share happiness with paper, because I love paper crafting. So, and I love this industry, and I want to do it more. So I hope that that makes sense, and that you understand where I'm coming from. So the trick or tip that I saw was to to stamp with white ink first, and then emboss with white ink, with white powder. And this is a really good embossing powder. So I have to say there's not much of a difference. I get the Brutus Monroe embossing powder. This is glitter black. I have copper, and I have gold. My favorite is the gilded gold embossing powder, but I have this silver one, and these just melt amazing. And you can see a little bit of a difference. I think it will make the biggest difference on black cardstock. But if you get these little on there, if you can see how it like breaks a little bit, you get those little dots. If you stamp first with white ink, it lessens that. This stamped pretty good, and it is pretty crisp, but I think it would make a big difference on black, and I love that tip. So that's what I did for this. I did this on the designer paper, the polka dot designer paper, and this sentiment comes from this stamp set. So it's just a little note of thanks. Let me catch up on comments, everyone. It's not a host set, Daisy. It is from the new catalog. So this one here that I've used, I think it's $18 in the new catalog. So it's not a host. It'll be really easy to get. I just cut off the Stampin' Up! Copyright off all of the images. Beautiful card. Missy said, good job. I'm assuming she meant about my rant that I went on. Hey, Laura. Kathy said, good for you. They retire stuff way too soon. They do. I totally agree, Kathy. And particularly with dies. And the reason this came about, the reason this rant kind of happened today is because when I did this tutorial, I made my card, I uploaded it, I wrote the tutorial, I uploaded it to the group I'm supposed to, and she messaged me back and said that the hippo dies retire, so they won't be in the catalog in May, so I needed to redo this card. And it really made me mad. Like, there's a piece of me that I understand wanting to push new product. I understand wanting customers to buy new product. Obviously, I am benefiting when you place an order with me and I get commission from that. Okay? So I get it. But the other piece of it is, I'm not going to get rid of these hippo dies. I love this shape. And I love that they're stitched, and I'm not going to get rid of them, and I'm going to keep using them. And there are lots of you out there that have these dies. And I think in this world of like, we always have to have like the newest thing, we forget all the stuff we have, and we forget that it's okay to just use this die. I love it. Like, why can't I use it? Right? So that's kind of what sparked it. I refused to redo the card. I refused. I was like, I'm not remaking it. It literally will have just retired, as far as like it being gone in May. Everybody will be fine. And I refused to remake it. And I said, if you don't want me on the tutorial group, I was totally okay with then the answer being, then you can't be a part of this tutorial group anymore. And I was okay with that. But I very much was not going to remake the card. And so that's kind of what sparked this. It's already been a desire. It's already been something I've been trying to do. It's already been something that I have been moving towards, but I was like, done. I'm crafting the way I want to craft, and the people who will want to watch me, and I hope that the people that want to support me will want to do that for greater reasons than me trying to hide that I use a different embossing powder, or like, I hope that they will appreciate the fact that I'm honest and that I just want to craft with them, and that's where their support will come from. And so, I don't know, it feels risky, it feels scary, it feels like, one of those things like, oh, well, maybe I should just go along with the crowd and do what the demonstrators all do and do what they tell me to do. But then there's this other piece of me that I'm like, I just want to get back to having joy in crafting again and not worrying so much about how or why people are going to support me, and just being me and just crafting and sharing that. And I hope that that will come across. So that's what I did here, is I embossed that little piece on the designer paper, and it worked really, really well. Daisy said, we all have items from a vast array of companies. Yes, we do. It just happens. Yes. And I love other crafting companies. I love them, and I want them to succeed. And there's room for all of us, I feel like. One of the reasons I follow you, you tell it like it is. It gets me in trouble, Laura. It gets me in trouble sometimes. Please show. I will. I'm assuming that you are referring to the items that I made for my living room for home decor. I will show them if you guys are interested. At some point I will. I made a bunch of summer pieces for my living room. Use what you have. Oh, thanks, Linda. She said, good for you. Kay said, thank you for saying these things about retired product. I totally agree. I thought I was the only person that felt that way. I guarantee you, you're not the only person that feels this way. I think that people, particularly if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I think you get There is I said, like, I feel scared about it. I feel like, what if nobody purchases from me? Or what if I make a mistake and like somebody really does get mad that the product is retired and they, leave a nasty comment, or like there is I would say that there is a bit of fear, but I just also too feel very strongly that I've always been honest in this place. I've always been honest with what I like and what I don't like. I've never tried to fake it just to hopefully have somebody purchase something from me. So I just feel like in the spirit of that, I really do need to just go forward and use the things that I want to use and share. And there was a time that I probably would have, used this off camera, but if somebody asked me, I would have said, well, this is what I'm using. But I feel like that is kind of deceitful. Or like using my embossing powder, like, I would just use it in my container. And if somebody asked, I would just, link Stampin' Ups. I mean, that kind of thing. So I just think that, I want to be creative. I want to share creative pieces of my life with you guys. It's always what I wanted to do. I never started out to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, ever. I had a blog, I had a YouTube channel before I was ever a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, because I loved crafting. And I lived far away from friends that I would craft with. And I wanted, it was back before social media. And so I would get on these remember like the craft message boards, the Cricut message board? I would get on these places and connect with other people that were crafting. And I just wanted to share that. And it's been a wonderful, byproduct of the fact that I was already doing that, and I found Stampin' Up! And loved the company, and I do very much love the company. They are amazing. They are good people. It is a good company. It is really solid. It has provided my family, you guys, I'm getting emotional, but you guys know that it has provided my family financial stability. Just recently when Esau lost his job, what I do paid our bills and fed our kids. I will forever be so grateful for that. But I just want to stand in this place and be creative again. And I have felt the joy sucked from me when it comes to crafting because of all of the things that don't use retired product. Don't use the crappy embossing powder if that's all we have, because that will get you a sale. Don't use other this or don't do that. And I just feel like it's okay. It's okay to use other stuff. It's okay to say Stampin' Up! Does not have every single product perfect. I just bought a T-square ruler. Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry one. I've wanted one for years. So I finally was like, I'm buying one. Those are the kinds of things that I'm not trying to throw Stampin' Up! Under the bus, and whatever other demonstrators decide to do, that's what they need to do. And that I have no opinion about what they're doing or how they're doing it. If it works for them, it works for them. But I want to swim in creativity again. And I just feel like I haven't done that in quite a long time. Laura said, you gotta be Tina. I totally agree. You should be free to use whatever you want. I would love to keep using what I already have. So I'm fine with you. Thank you for sharing. That is one big reason I support your business and crafting time. I thank you guys. The thing you might find, others who have the same product you have that might be retired, and when you use the item, it makes something beautiful. They say, hey, I can make that. Yes. And also I feel like every single time I want to be back in the place where I made these cards today and I was like, I can't believe I made this. I had so much fun making these because I love Stampin' Up! In colors. It is one of my favorite things, right, of the new catalog is the new in colors and trying them out and stamping with them. And so I want that to be what leads me, what I am excited about, what I can share with you guys. And I think that is a better place to be. So the last one, I know that was quite the tangent I got off on, you guys. I apologize. The last one is this one here. And I used the circle here, this one. Again, I cut Stampin' Up! Off the copyright piece and used the dies again. And then I flipped this one. So the designer paper, oh no, I didn't. It's the same. Sorry. I used designer paper instead of cardstock. That's what I did. That was different. I was thinking I flipped the design, but I didn't. This is designer paper. And this is cardstock. And so instead I just did that designer paper, but I did the same measurements. Daisy said creativity feeds the soul. And if we are creating little masterpieces, it doesn't matter where the ingredients come from. I agree. I totally agree. And then I did the dots here. So I did butterflies here, right? So, and I also just switched. I should have probably done this circle over here. I think I got distracted. But this one is the inspiration for this one. So let me show you all of the cards together. And I just love that I did different designs for these in color cards. Kay said, I love the parakeet party paper. I never thought of using a stamp set you are using for the front. Brain block. Thought it was just for the back. Yes. Do you see? So yeah, that is totally, I don't think that is I think a lot of people wouldn't think to use this on the front. I immediately, because I don't stamp the back of my cards, I don't sell them. So there's no reason for me to stamp them. And also when I send a card, oftentimes I will send it with a sticky note inside. So if the person wants to reuse the card, they can. And if I stamp the back with my information, listen, this is another little, I'm just going to tell you all the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator secrets. So the big thing with stamping the back, a lot of demonstrators will stamp their name and their information because God forbid they send a card to somebody and then somebody else gives that card away and then they don't get credit for it, or they always look at it like that will lead back to my business. That will be another customer. I personally don't do that because I want you to feel the freedom to use the card again. Like if I send you a card and there's a little sticky note in it that says, thanks so much for your order, or I hope you're feeling better, or happy birthday. If you want to take that card and reuse it and send it to somebody else, I don't want you to feel weird that my information is on the back of it. And I feel like if you're sending it to somebody, they know you're crafty. If you want to recommend me, you will. I don't need to plaster my stuff all over everywhere. So I don't use stamps like this on the back because I'm not selling and I don't need it. So immediately when I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, this would make amazing. I love this, the little stamp or the paper hug from me. I just love it. I screamed when I got this stamp set in my package. When I signed up for the event, I opened up my package not knowing what stamp set I would get. I had seen a couple demonstrators post which stamp sets they had got. I didn't know they were all different. When I got this one, I totally screamed. I jumped up. It was on my list of first stamp sets I was planning to buy. So isn't that funny? I think that it's just a really creative way to use that stamp and get so much out of it. And then you can use it on the back. If you want to, if you're selling them or you want your information on the back, you totally can use it what it's meant for. Iona said, I love you, and that's the reason I signed up with you, not Stampin' Up. No, I get that, Iona. Oh, you're so sweet. So these are all 5 of them. I love them. They're so, so beautiful. I love the colors. I would definitely say that my favorite is probably this one. It reminds me of Lucky Limeade, which we had several years ago, or the other one, which was, what was the other green, bright green one we had a couple years back? I still have that stamp pad out. In fact, it looks, let me grab it because it's very, very similar. Oh, Lemon Lime Twist. And these are very, very similar. So if you loved this color, Lemon Lime Twist, you will see it's just a little bit brighter. And really, I wonder if it's like maybe let's test it really quick. Let's do one more thing. One more thing before I need to get off here. Let's stamp this and see. Sometimes the outside of the container will fade a little bit. Let me clean off this stamp. And then let's stamp both of these and see how close they are. But also Lucky Limeade was one that was like this green that I really loved. Okay. Dry that off. So this is Lemon Lime Twist. Okay. Lemon Lime Twist. And then this is the Parakeet Party. Oh, so yeah, it's a little bit brighter. See that? A little bit brighter. But I loved this. I loved Lemon Lime Twist so much that I still have it out. I just don't have it with my regular inks. I have it over on the other side of, like, where I keep some of my retired inks. And I love it. So this is Parakeet Party. And I love it. And I think I can't wait to do a project with these two colors. Because I think they're beautiful. So let's get these back up here. I'll have photos up for you guys. And I will have a project sheet too, probably tomorrow. And then, my paper party retreat stuff will be out this week, either probably Thursday, now that I have to do the project sheet and stuff tomorrow. It's been a little bit rough taking Kayla, because she has state testing. So every day we've had to take her. She goes to school in a different county, because she goes to a charter school, and she's had testing every day this week. And so she's had to go every day. And normally she just goes twice a week. And Macy is sick. And so Wendy has not been able to help carpool because she's home with Macy. Like, Macy's not going to school right now. So it's been a little bit of a lot this week. So I loved these cards, you guys. I loved hanging out with you and chatting with you. If you're watching on YouTube, I probably should have put this at the very beginning. I'm not live anymore, but feel free to leave a comment down below. And I appreciated all your guys' thoughts and your inputs and just chatting about that. I know that it is different, and I know that it's, I know not everybody will agree with me when it comes to that, the stance that I'm taking, but I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with what everybody else does. Like, everybody has a right to do whatever they want. So no judgment, right? And I will be back with my paper party stuff this week. And then on Friday, I will have another video for you guys that will be memory keeping. It will just be a walkthrough of a project that I'm doing with my membership group. So if you're part of that Life Simply Documented group, which is $10 a month, we do all memory keeping related items. We're doing this project in our group, and I will be doing a walkthrough on Friday. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I will see you guys later this week. I hope you all are having a wonderful week, and I will chat with you guys later.